All right, so today we are kicking off our, I believe, fourth session of Idea to $1,000. For those of you who are new here, I am going from idea to $1,000, meaning I am going to be taking an idea that I've had for a long time and building it for you guys step by step using the Dreams into Apps methodology. And I'm going to be going from, like I said, the idea to $1,000. But what exactly does that mean? I'm going through our methodology inside of Dreams into Apps and using AI and no code tools to prove to you all that it's absolutely possible to build an app. But most importantly, I want you to see how I would build an app, because I'm sure all of you day to day are encountering challenges, um, acquiring a mindset, and maybe even facing some imposter syndrome. So the purpose of doing this live stream is to really break down your imposter syndrome and show you how I, as an expert, approach building an app and inspire you. If you are doing the same thing that I'm doing as an expert, there's no reason that you face this imposter syndrome. I want you to be confident and know that the things that you are doing every day are the same things that I, as an expert, would do. And yeah, really bust down that confidence barrier for y'all. So if you were here last time, you probably recall I used um, our Ambitious Labs low fidelity wireframe template. And I may have mentioned that we are actually building out a design system for you all because we're noticing that many of you are getting stuck in the FlutterFlow development phase. It's taking you guys a long time to graduate from that phase. And we are watching. We have analytics. We see the numbers. Many of you guys are getting stuck there. And although you're attending office hours, you're attending lesson labs, you're booking time with your coaches, you're still stuck. And we believe that this is our fault. All of your success is our fault. And we take a lot of pride in looking at what each one of you are doing on a daily basis. And then from our vantage point, introducing systems, processes, tools, and resources to make you guys successful faster. So the hypothesis that we have right now is that you guys aren't able to go from design to development fast enough because A, you're not graphic designers, or you might be. And B, we haven't given you enough building blocks to be assembling Lego blocks style. Uh, we haven't been giving you enough building blocks so that you can, instead of starting from scratch, you can have more of this Lego block building approach. So here we go. Last week I used a low fidelity wireframe called cut frame. And what I pretty much did is a rough wireframe of like how I want my app to work. I have my um, I have my login screens, I have some onboarding, but notice how these are low fidelity, meaning there's like nothing on them. It's just like very rough. Obviously, this doesn't get us much, in terms of vision, but it at least mapped out what I was thinking in my head. And at the time of recording this, we actually didn't have our design system ready yet. Today, we have our design system ready. So I'm really excited to show that to you guys. So if you stick around to the end of this workshop, you're going to see something amazing that we are actually going to be rolling out for all of you to use called the Ambitious Labs design system. I'll even explain what design systems are and why they're so important. But for now, all you need to know is that it's essentially a kit that we're creating for you to make your life a lot easier. Okay, cool. So I have this wireframe that's low fidelity, and now I'm going to show you the design system. It's called the Ambitious Moon. So Moon is a design system that exists on the internet already. It's very popular. A lot of React and Flutter developers already know of the Moon design system. This is a pre-existing design system that we forked, which means we copied with credit given to Moon. We absolutely will be giving credit to Moon. We did not build this ourselves, but we did customize it and we did tweak it to fit the FlutterFlow and the mobile app development use case, especially for you guys. So it's a fork off of Moon, but it's specialized for what you all are doing inside of Ambitious Labs. Okay, so we have the Moon design system, and essentially a design system is a UI kit component library. So think of this as building blocks, and I'm about to uncover a lot of the building blocks that I've provided for you, that we've built for you. Zion and his design team have been really hard at work. The design team has done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of logos for you all, brand kits for you all, UI kits for you all, and we are now starting to create systems and processes to make this a lot easier. One thing I want to say right now, please leave your feedback in the comments. As you are going through this exercise with me, I want to understand if this is useful for you or not. It's super important for us that we roll out tools and resources that actually make you successful. If you are confused, if you don't know something, if you have a question, if you want to know how this works, if you even think this is a good idea, or if you're just like, Alim, this is terrible. Why'd you guys even do this? Please leave comments, use the chat. I'm going to stop every few minutes and look for your guys' feedback. So please give us your feedback. We are only as good as the feedback that y'all provide. So thank you for that in advance. Let's get into it. So the mission behind this design system is to um, enable you to build products faster. That's what Moon went out to do, and that's why we're doing it too. So essentially, we want you to be efficient with your time. We want you to have agility so that you can launch new features, prototype new features, of course, build a high quality app. We don't want your apps looking like a beginner built them. I am obsessed over ensuring that you guys have an incredibly high quality looking app so that it's worth a lot of money. It can build trust in your users and it's something that you can be proud of. Okay, so we have a user guide and then the foundations. Foundations are essentially all of the configuration of your design system. So we have everything here from colors to the grid layouts, shadows, typography, icons, states. Okay, so these are essentially just components where when we create your logo kit and brand kit, you are just going to have to be responsible for coming in here and changing these colors at a component level, and that's going to reflect it across your whole app. So you can expect our design team going forward to be turning you around this type of design system that is custom to you. We haven't rolled this out to the design team yet. We probably need a couple more weeks, but my point is that we've kind of systemized all this. Going deeper into components, these components are like reusable pieces of UI that you can use again and again. So check this out, like this air banner, right? These styles for like how you display um, success messages. These are all custom, but they're also components because we don't want you to have to think about how am I going to display this piece of information. Apps always use a design system and they're always displaying data in very similar ways. So we have gone ahead and just given you like the components that you would need to reuse. So you're not having to think about, oh, like what's the radius of this um, rectangle or what's um, the point of having a button that's rounded versus outlined. So we give you full width buttons with a icon and everything is fully custom here. Okay, cool. You can go through all of these components at your own once we roll them out, but like another big thing is that we've gone and implemented some templates for you as well. So like if you wanted to do a leaderboard, you have that. And mind you, this is totally customizable. This is meant to be a starting point for your app. Our design team is still going to customize this. You're still going to learn Figma and you'll be able to customize this yourself. Okay, so check this out. Now we give you screens and everyone's going to have the same screens because why? We're actually going to give you a matching FlutterFlow project that's going to have all this stuff in a FlutterFlow project. So all you need to do is pick and pull from one FlutterFlow project. This is typically called a framework or a, like I said, design system, but I like to use the word framework. So we're going to have this template, this Figma file and the matching FlutterFlow project. So you're going to have everything you see here already built for you in FlutterFlow. So you don't need to create more templates. You don't need to create your own UI widgets, your own components. All of it's going to be done for you. All you need to do is play Legos and piece them all together. So again, leave comments if you're excited about that. If you're mad about that, post in the chat. I want to know how you feel. So look, we've even given you guys all onboarding screens too. So going back to my wireframes, right? I did my low fidelity wireframes and they look really high level, right? You can't really see what's going on. In today's live stream, we're going to take the ambitious Moon design system and I'm going to now design my real app for real, for real, for real. And I'm going to do it all myself. We're not going to send it to the design team. I'm going to do this all myself so that you can see how I use our framework, how I customize it. And we're going to build out our entire app today. Like, I don't care if this takes us a little bit longer. We'll take a water break if we have to, but we're going to build the entire app today. The same app that I'm going to be building in FlutterFlow next and that we're going to be making money off of. So I'm going to check the comments real quick and then we'll get into it. If you have anything, just post in the chat so I can respond. Awesome. Phil says that's great. I'm happy to hear that, Phil. And yes, of course, you will have access to the recording. It's going to be in the lab dash. Randy, we love you. Thank you. Um, Gary, yes, the name of the game is expediting because we're looking at the analytics. It's taking people longer than we want it to get through some of the phases. So we, as a company, are focused on the UI Figma to UI development to like the API CRUD phase because Andreas and Commerce are working really hard to help you guys all go through the implementation, but we feel as product people that we can actually give you guys better tools. All right, so without further ado, let's get cracking. All right, so the first step is to create our onboarding and sign up. And the best part about all this is that um, we have most of these pages built out. So what I'm going to do is just copy this all over and we're going to pretty much rebuild it all one at a time using the design system. So the first thing we need is authentication screens. We need a splash, login, and sign up. So let's go get that from Ambitious Moon. All right. So the first thing we're going to need is an onboarding screen. I get to pick which one I like. The one that I like, we actually don't have a splash here, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this onboarding screen because I kind of like how this looks for a splash. And this is what we did at PrizePicks too. We always had like um something like this. I'm gonna go with the dark mode and I'll replace this. And this can be my welcome screen. So this is the screen that someone's gonna see when they first land. So we'll say welcome. Okay. And before I customize the copy, I'm gonna go grab my auth screens as well. Fantastic. So we'll go onboarding, auth form, or excuse me, login and sign up, not auth form. And it looks like I just found my splash as well. So I'm going to grab this. I'm going to grab the login. I'll grab this. I'll grab this login. I'll grab this login and the sign up page. Copy with Command C. And then I'm going to come paste all that good stuff here. Okay. So we have the splash, and the splash is what a user is going to see for the first time. Well, excuse me. It's not what the user is going to see for the first time. It's what they're going to see when they first open the app. That's called your splash page. So you might have even seen it. Like I can even show you on my phone real quick, but like notice, I'm going to put my phone up here. When I click on Priority Pass, this is an app that I have on my phone. Let's see if I can get the focus to work. Notice when I click on this app, that's actually a very slow one. I'll do a different one like a game. So if I click on this, notice that screen that popped up for half a second there. That's called your splash screen because it kind of splashes up. Some apps show splash screens longer than others. Some don't. Say I click on Cash App. See that green screen that came up? That's called your splash screen. So that's the same screen we're about to show right here. This is going to be our splash. Okay, then we have onboarding, login. On login, we're not going to support continue with Twitter. We're going to say sign up with email. Okay. So we'll have continue with Google, sign up with email. Then we have login if you are not logged in. We'll think through this in a second. Okay, so we have splash, welcome, because that's going to be the first screen that you see. Login, and you're going to have Google, sign up with email. And what this essentially is going to be is I'm always going to optimize my app for a first time user. And that's what you all should do too, because remember, your auth screen is only seen normally the first time somebody downloads your app. So you need to be optimizing toward brand new people installing your app for the first time. So I'm going to assume that everyone who's downloaded my app and seen this screen, most of them are new. Because if you're coming back, your intent is probably pretty high and you probably already know how to get back into the app. So rather than trying to focus on getting people to like log in, I'm going to assume that no one's logged in before. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start working through like how I want my new user onboarding to look and feel. So here I'm going to have a splash screen, or excuse me, my welcome page that pretty much tells the value proposition of Closure Academy. And my value proposition is typically like three feature benefits that my app is going to have to become a better sales rep. For example, I'm going to just add a comment right here. And I'm going to say some examples of feature benefits are become a better sales rep. That's number one. Number two is close more deals. Number three is um, make more money, right? These are three just like bold statements that I can make about why or what the benefits are of using my app. We can always come back to this, but for now, I'm going to say become a better sales rep in just 10 minutes a day. And I can say Closer Academy is your personal sales coach that helps you level up your sales game through bite-sized AI-powered exercises. Cool. And then we can always come back and update this image. We can find some stock images or we can create some logos. Maybe this is where we get the design team involved. All right. So this would be the next screen that somebody sees. So right here, when they land on the welcome page, I'm actually going to replace this bottom with one of these purple buttons because I want a user to like quickly just get started and like see that button. So I'll click this, adjust the size. And I'm struggling to grab this little piece right here. That's funny. Cool. Fantastic. So that's there now. Beautiful. A little clicking around gets you there. Okay. So that's there. And I do want this agree and continue button to live kind of below everything else. I don't really like how that sits. But I'll come back to get this. Unless, okay, I see what's going on. So what I'll do is I'll create a frame, put this frame down here, move it there. All right, cool. All right, that looks a lot better, right? Cool. So this will be a sliding carousel, and there's not going to be a back arrow here. Cool. That looks a lot better. Become a better sales rep in just 10 minutes a day. And then I'll put a note to myself saying, replace the icon. And then I'll say replace icon. Okay, because we're not going to use the Ambitious Labs logo there. All right. So now when you click continue, that's going to take me to the login page. This login page, I'll say continue with Google, login to Closer Academy. Continue with Google, that's fine. That will probably authenticate you with Google. And then here we'll say sign up with email. And I will show you something cool here. So this is the X logo, right? This is a Twitter logo. We want to change this to email. So that's the beauty of a design system. We can go back to the design system and find icons. And we have so many icons to choose from. And the one I really care about is email. So I'll grab one of these email icons, probably that medium size one, Command C, and I'll paste it, change the color to white 100, and I'll click on the Twitter one and get rid of it. That's the power of design systems, right? We didn't have to go find it. We knew it existed in the system. So boom, now I have login to Closer Academy, continue with Google, or sign up for email. What I'm going to do is not continue with Google. I'm going to optimize toward people not having downloaded my app. So I'll say sign up with Google, sign up with email. And instead of don't have an account, I'll say already have an account, login existing. Maybe not that. Maybe I'll say something like login instead. Gorgeous. Now we want a sign up page for someone to sign up with email. If they land here, they need to sign up with email. I'm not going to overcomplicate this. I'm going to get rid of the username and just have an email. It does look like I ended up with an extra divider up here, so I'm going to get rid of that. Cool. So I got email. I don't I don't mind having the birthday. At least I can see the age of people. So we'll say email, date of birth, and we'll get rid of all this extra stuff here. And normally email and password have to be connected. I'll put date of birth underneath here. You know what? I actually don't even want the date of birth. I just want to simplify this. I just want people to get in to my app. Okay. Cool. I think we're missing a logo, so I'm going to add that here. And I'm going to use auto layout because auto layout exists. I'll say frame selection. And while I do this, I'm also noticing some bugs in the design system. And that's one reason I'm doing this exercise this way, so I can report these bugs back to the team as well and make sure that we get them completely hammered out. Right. So here's that. And then we'll make sure this auto layout goes downward. Boom. All right, beautiful. So now we have this back and we can analyze this a second. So splash screen is what the user will see. Welcome is where we'll sell the value props. They'll hit continue so that they can log in. Okay. So hit sign up with Google, sign up with email. If they hit sign up with Google, we'll just do the authentication and allow them to log in. If they hit sign up with email, we'll take them to the sign up page. If they hit log in, then we'll take them to the login page, but we're also going to need that option to log in with Google. So I'm going to grab this login with Google and I'm just going to drop it under the sign in button here. That way, if someone didn't log in with sorry, if they didn't create an account with email and password, they can just click sign in with Google and quickly get in there, right? And I think I made this a little bit too. Cool. So log in, username, password, forgot password, sign in with Google. All right. Love it. Awesome. So it looks like we have our login screens, right? We have splash, welcome, login, sign up, login. And then what we'll do in the future iteration is we'll replace these stock images, as well as the icons. But I'm going to show you the power of design systems in the next lesson, and how when you use this design system, all you're going to have to do is you're going to get your own copy of the whole Ambitious Moon design system, and it's going to say like Ambitious Moon Randy. That's what we would turn around for you if you were to, get this exercise. And then all you would need to do is go to Foundations and go to, um, I saw it this morning. Now I'm losing it. All you would need to do is what I'm trying to say is that we're going to have another tab here under Foundations called Icons and Logos. And you're just going to have to swap your logo in one spot. Like you're just going to change it here, and it's going to update across, the whole app. So that's going to make it really easy for you guys to, like I said, keep everything very systemized and then quickly make changes so you're not having to like update the logo in 100 different places. I'm going to show you that too. I'm going to pause for a quick second to field any questions in the chat. Cool, I don't see any yet. Um, no worries at all. Cool. Let's keep moving. All right. So now a user is going to log into our app and create an account. And the next step from here is to actually do the onboarding. And the onboarding is where you're going to sell the product. So I'm going to get rid of these questions. And if we kind of go back to my spec doc, let me pull something up here. Cool. So I have my spec doc pulled up on a different browser here, but essentially what I want to understand real quick is what are the questions that we're going to ask? Because we didn't come up with these last time, so I'm going to come up with them now. Like, what are the questions that we want to ask our people? So I'm going to go back to Ambitious Moon and find our onboarding screens. Onboarding, gorgeous. Cool. So one screen that we have is this multi-select screen, which I like. I think it's good. Um, I truly believe that we need to have a screen that is actually full width buttons. I actually don't fully like this. So let's find a full width button, or excuse me, yeah, a full width button that I'm looking for here. So what we'll do, and what I mean by a full width button is something like this, where it's like completely full width. Cool. Let's go back to onboarding. Fantastic. And I'm going to grab this screen here. the onboarding screen. I'm gonna paste it. So onboarding is a really good opportunity for you to essentially do three things. Like you want to ask the person what their pain points are and make them know that they have pain points. Number two, you want them to know that you're the solution to their problem and that you know them and their problem. And then three, you want them to input some information so that you can personalize the experience for them. Okay. So let me show you what I mean by that. Here's what we'll do. For onboarding step one, I'm going to ask them this. What are you looking to achieve as a sales rep? And I won't even say rep, I'll say sales professional. And notice I'm being really specific because I only want sales professionals to use my app. If you are an artist or you are a magician and you see that question, you're going to close the app and delete it. And that's okay. I don't want you to download the app. I only want sales professionals. So having a unique kind of targeted messaging to your customer here is super important. This goes back to one of my favorite books right now, $100 million offers. I even have an obsession over copywriting secrets. I had to go look over at the bookshelf. Copywriting secrets, Russell Brunson, he's always talking about messaging, he's talking about niching. And so this is what you got to do during this onboarding process as well, is really hyper focus on who that customer is. And for all of you watching, you probably have this idea for an app and you probably have an idea for who's going to use it. But I challenge you right now, um, to think a little bit deeper and try to chisel out like one layer deeper of a niche that your person belongs to. If you want to sell to artists, think about a niche, nail salons, hairstylists. If you want to sell to um, magicians, think circus magicians, card magicians. Like think of a really small, tight group of people. And that's my challenge to you. Okay. So what are you looking to achieve as a sales professional? And we'll say select as many as you would like. Select as many goals as you would like. Okay, that's what we want them to do. And here I'll input a bunch of goals. Like one of the goals will be increase my close rate. Here will be like land a higher paying job. And this is definitely unfolding a bit. That's all right. That's one reason I really don't like this type of experience, but that's fine. I personally would prefer that they were single items on a line. So that's actually what I'm going to do. I'm going to delete a lot of this stuff. And actually, I don't like this UI at all. I'm actually just going to delete it. And we're going to go back to Ambitious Moon. And I saw these menus that I liked a lot better. Yeah, like these are way sexier to me, and these are a lot easier to work with. So I'm going to grab this, go back to Close Your Academy. I'm going to paste that in here. Yeah. Gorgeous. So now I'm rocking, right? What are you looking to achieve as a sales professional? Select as many goals as you would like. Here, one thing I don't have is a stroke. So I'm going to add a stroke and change this to white. I'll change the bounding to 10. Okay. I'm going to delete all the rest of this stuff. So in a perfect world, we would have access to a lot of these components, and I'm going to have our design team build out some of these templates a little bit more. And so I'm going to be sending them what I'm doing here so that you guys don't have to kind of rebuild what I'm doing. So don't worry too much about that. And what I'm going to do is frame this up. Now that's a frame. Beautiful. And then I'll adjust the padding between the two to 10. Cool. Gorgeous. Now I'm getting a few more. Love it. Beautiful. All right. What are you looking to achieve as a sales professional? I like this a lot more. Now I can say close more deals, tonality, improve my tonality, um, practice selling other items, other offers, handle objections better, land a new role transition. No, land a new role. Um, improve my EQ, my emotional kind of intelligence. So I just kind of brainstormed this and I've been studying a lot of sales lately and I've been studying, problems in the sales space. And I personally have, I won't say domain expertise, but I have enough knowledge to try to solve a problem in this space. I know we have some other salespeople in the program too. So if you have any suggestions for me, please feel free to leave it in the chat. I'd be happy to incorporate whatever you guys suggest. Like at the end of the day, I'm building this for you. So if you have any ideas, let me know about that and I can incorporate some of that stuff. Um, cool. Cool, cool, cool. So here's what we'll do. So you can select as many as possible, and then we'll have our design team kind of flip around like a selected state. So I'm going to say, selected design a state for when a user selects this modal, or excuse me, selects this item, include in ambitious moon. Okay. So essentially, like when somebody clicks on one of these things, we want to highlight it green, right? And obviously, that would enable a user to select more than one. So I'd be excited about that. Okay. We'll keep things moving here. So onboarding, we'll say step one. Now I'm just going to hold Option Shift and copy these twice. So the next one is, what are you looking to achieve as a sales professional? You know, we can ask something like, what um, actually, I think we could have set this up. What are you looking to achieve as a sales professional, which is your goals? And then the second question here is the second opportunity here is for us to address their pain points. Um, this one can be, what do you need help with? Okay. So on this side, we'll stick to more like aspirational selling. What's the outcome that our app is going to provide our users, right? This one is going to be close more deals. This one's going to be double, or we'll say something a little bit more bold. Double my close rate. Here will be secure a sales job. Um, what are some other outcomes here? Hmm. Secure a sales job, double my close rate. Let me think. Uh, hmm. We'll say something like double my close rate, secure a sales job. Uh, oh, of course, set more meetings. Um, set more, not meetings, but qualified meetings. Try sales as a career. Something for the aspiring sales reps. Okay. Cool. We can always come back and we will be adjusting and A/B testing this a bit over time. So cool. What are you looking to achieve? Um, and I think I want to shorten this actually. So we'll say, what are you looking to achieve? Good. What do you need help with? And here's where we'll address pain points. We'll say, um, keeping prospects or staying in the pocket, which is a sales term for like, being a good rep, and kind of being in a zone of control. We can say improve tonality, practice selling other offers, handle objections better. Um, and I think we can keep it there and improve my EQ. So look, let me pause here for a second. This is your opportunity during your onboarding to sell the features of your app, right? Like the feature bet, and not just the features, but we're doing this by making the benefits very clear. By using the features of this app, you will stay in the pocket, improve your tonality, practice selling other offers, handle objections better, and you improve your EQ. These are the benefits of using the features. Notice how I'm not saying uh, use AI to help improve your tonality. Use AI to help me improve my tonality. Use AI to help me learn how to sell other offers. Or like every day wake up and use this app to practice selling other offers. I'm not selling the logistic part of this all. I'm selling or I'm making the prospect aware of the benefits that the features are going to provide me. So features are different than feature benefits. And oftentimes when we're talking to builders or when I see you guys submitting your type form assignments and you're talking to us about your app, you're too concerned over the features and not enough the benefits. People are using your app for the benefit, for achieving some sort of goal, of extracting some sort of value. So next time you try to explain your app to somebody or you're explaining your app to our coaching team, like don't think of it like logistically. You're not selling the actual code. You're selling what happens when someone is using the app, right? So keep that in mind. Okay. Um, the last thing I'm gonna do here is one more question that says something um like setting up your profile or like, you know, um getting an assessment. Maybe this is a cool opportunity to actually show the user some value before they download or before they actually like see the app. So I have an idea. I have an idea. This one's kind of risky though. Let me think about it. Let me think about this. So here's what I'm thinking. Hmm. Here's what I'm thinking. I have a really good idea here. Okay, cool. Let's change these to select your first, like your number one goal. So we'll say select the most important goal. And then here we'll say select your biggest struggle. And watch how I'm about to use this. I'm going to use these answers to personalize the experience for the customer when they see what we're about to offer them. And we'll fix this alignment most likely with the design team. Okay. So here's what we'll do. I'm excited. Here we go. We'll say awesome Sandro. We'll say something like, we'll say something like, awesome, Sandro. Let's try a quick exercise. Okay, this one's gonna be interesting. So I'm gonna remove all this stuff here. My goal, let me speak aloud a bit. Maybe that'll help me. So my goal here is to show the user what the app is gonna do and the value that it can provide before we try to make the paywall sale. This is a little bit risky, but I figured like, hey, if we're here and we're gonna try to make $1,000, let's take the biggest swing toward maximizing that chance of success as possible. I haven't done this yet. I didn't do this envirely, so let's try this out. What we're going to do is we're going to say, awesome, Sandro, let's try a quick exercise. And I'm going to ask the user to try to sell me the pen or sell me this pen and get the answer from the user to see where they are today and show them how this works. So I'm going to say, awesome, Sandro, let's try a quick exercise. How about you try selling me this pen real quick? And then the user is going to be like, oh, goodness, I have to like actually do this now. All right, well, I mean, I might as well do it, right? Like, I'm here. I need to become a better sales rep. I already told it what my goals are and it thinks I can do it. So let's try it out. I might lose a lot of people at this point, right? Like I might be asking a lot from some people to like, hey, we just met each other and you're already asking me to like dance with you. And when we implement Mixpanel and we see the drop off, we're likely gonna see that that's the case. But let's give it a shot, right? Like, what do we have to lose? We want to use data to support our decisions. I have this hypothesis that I'm forming right now. If I show people how this app works early in their user journey, and when I say early, I mean extremely early, right? Like within their first like five screens, can I get them to convert by earning their trust? Right? I believe that I can convert them into trials by earning their trust early and showing them the value early, right? And this API call is going to cost me money, right? When I run this API to do the AI analysis, it's going to cost the company money, right? It's going to cost maybe a penny, maybe less. And the right person, and we can even tell this person in some messaging that, hey, this is going to cost some money. So this is going to cost some money. We just gave you some free value, and hopefully that gives them the trust to actually go forward. So that's how I'm thinking about my product. I'd be curious to know what you think. Definitely hit me in the comments. I'm definitely very curious about your reaction to that. Um, and for those of you who are sticking around, nice job. Cool. Let's build this out. Awesome, Sandra. Let's try a quick exercise. How about you sell me this pen? Let's do it. So I'm lacking a little bit of design inspiration. I'll be honest with you. So let's try something where we can use some AI to help me with this design inspiration. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share my other screen, desktop 2. Boom. And we're going to use our friendly tool here, Magic Patterns. Um, can even, yeah. So what we'll do is we'll say generate a UI. First, let me log into my account because I have this. And so for those of you who don't know, we have a partnership with Magic Patterns. You can actually go to Discord and you can use Magic Patterns right there. Um, and you don't need to like even log in. It's totally free. We've negotiated on behalf of you guys. So here's what I'll do. We'll say we already have this kind of daily challenge here. I kind of like how this card is there. That's what we'll do. We'll create a card right under this and we'll kind of imitate, your first exercise because it's also an opportunity for us to condition our users. So we'll do something like we'll say card. We should be able to find a card somewhere here. All right, back to it. Okay, cool. So I have this card here, and I'm going to say, awesome, Sandro, let's try a quick exercise. And we can figure out a way to kind of bridge this a little bit better in a moment, but we're going to say, let's try a quick exercise. And we'll say something like, introduction challenge. And we can adjust the image with AI. I'm sure we could put like a picture of a pen, and we could say something like, let's get rid of this. We'll say, situation. You are selling a pen. And we'll say something like, your customer, prospect pain points, something like this, struggling to finish their book, been writing with a graphite pencil for 3 years, needs a solution for finishing the book, right? It can be something very just like out of the ordinary. And I'm not convinced that this is the right UI. We can definitely think through the right UI. We'll say prospect pain points. Situation, you are selling a pen. We can change this to a pen. Boom. We'll add a subheading here just to kind of give some context, like complete, or we can say something like complete your, let's assess your current sales skills. Complete your first exercise below. All right, cool. Introduction challenge, boom, boom, boom. We're gonna get rid of this bar right here. All right. What we'll do then is we're just gonna add a nice big button. Um, and we'll check this button. Or actually, let's go back to Ambitious Moon. We'll go find a button that's good. Okay. So we found some buttons. We're gonna get a big one like this. We'll say button, and then we'll drop it here. Okay. I'm gonna make this button full width. And we'll say something like tap to record your answer. And then we'll go back to Ambitious Moon and find the icon. We're going to find a recording icon somewhere. Find a mic. We need a mic or something like that. A microphone. Cool. Here's the mic. And then we will come here, paste the mic, get rid of this logo. And then we'll change this mic color to white. And I want to make sure this button. Actually, we did it the wrong way. You're supposed to click here, and then we can change the actual icon. Mm, don't see mic here, so we're gonna have to make sure that gets added. I'll leave it alone for now. I'm going to detach the component. Okay, cool. And then what we'll do is when the answer is, so what we'll do is we'll tap to record the answer. And then while the answer is being recorded, we'll add a state here that changes this color to like yellow, and we'll say tap to submit your answer, or we'll say stop recording and submit. Okay. This is going to be the state when someone is recording. And then we'll say here, we'll go find button, and we need to find a text button. Yeah. So this is called a ghost button. So we'll copy this and we'll drop a ghost button here. I'll click on the ghost button and change the color to red. And what we'll do is we'll say cancel. So say I'm like in the middle of selling this pen and I want to cancel it. I should be able to do that. And I'll just get rid of that for now. Cancel and restart. Gorgeous. And then I want to have a timer because I want to like keep track of how long they are talking for. So I'll go to typography. I will find like a big heading. I copy it. I'll go here and I'll just say something like 0015. Change the fill to white. Center align this, and boom. Very simple UI. Like, hope that makes sense, right? Like, you tap to record it. It's going to start counting as you're talking. Then you click stop recording and submit on the yellow button or orange. And then boom, it's just going to automatically finish the session, send the data to an API, and then it's going to process it.